Hi everyone, it's Chenzo from Reality Art Pod, here to talk about the season premiere of Survivor 48, titled The Get to Know You Game. This will be my 4th season recapping Survivor. It feels good to be back. So if you like this video, consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. My videos aren't meant to replace the original content, so I encourage you to watch the show to form your own opinion first. If you use my link in the description, you can binge Survivor by trying Paramount Plus for free. But let's dive into it. We open with cute little clips of the survivors losing their shit about being cast on the show, with Joe especially crying, saying his kids are going to be proud of him. And we meet Joe, the reliable firefighter, Say, who calls herself problematically unfiltered, and Eva, who studies science and is the only woman on the men's hockey team. Jeff ushers them ashore with a come on in, and Shaheen growls at us, saying he's gonna eat everyone's lunch. Matt chats with Mitch, who shares he has a speech impediment, and looks up to Christy from Survivor Amazon. Chrissy says she was eating M&M peanuts at home, and Jeff told her to apply, so here she is. And Kevin shouts out Yule, who he related to since he was a kid. Jeff introduces Orange Siva Tribe, Green Vula, and Purple Lagi, and explains the rules of their first reward challenge. They'll race 2 at a time through the mud under a net to get 3 chests, then use sandbags to scale a wall, and throw their smaller sandbags onto a target. The first tribe to finish will get fire making and survival tools, and the other 2 tribes will have to get it a different way. So they get started in a challenge where the hidden reel challenge is not looking horrible in footage you know will be used in the main credits. Kevin quickly hurts his shoulder in the net crawl, and really struggles with it on the sidelines. Purple Lagi gets to an early lead, getting their chests and flinging Eva up the wall to extend their lead even more. Green Vula really struggle to get Cedric up the wall as Orange Siva passes them. Star, Thomas, and Shaheen get their sandbags, winning Lagi the tribe's supplies reward and a very good mood heading to camp. The losing tribes each have to pick one player to go on a journey and try to win the supplies they lost. They pick Kevin and Kyle, giving Kevin a chance to redeem himself from the shoulder incident. Purple Lagi is still hooting and hollering when they get back to their beach. They introduce themselves. Thomas tells us he's filtering his personality to fit the group, feeling like he and Bianca will be on the outs because everyone else is athletic, but he commits to the bit and bonds with the guys, and quickly attaches himself to his little soulmate Bianca. Bianca loves him too. They're quickly all over each other, hugging and standing themselves. On Siva, Camilla instantly jokes to us that she wants to cause chaos. Mitch is endearing himself to the other players and working hard, and Stuntman David is showing off, doing pull-ups and playing pick things up and put them down. He wants to show his personality and that he's more than just the muscles. At Vula, Cedric makes his tribe laugh, talking about his job as a booty surgeon, and he assesses their tribe as the underdogs. Stephanie, who's dressed like she's at the White Lotus, is challenging herself not to be over the top as she would be in real life. Say tries to make an alliance with the women, and they kind of shoot her down. Say says that these hoochie mamas are just trying to play the get to know you game, and oops, she said the thing. Say wants to make a core 4 alliance. She starts off by locking in Justin and Cedric, who seem down. Say declares this is her season to win. On their journey, Mud Monsters Kevin and Kyle learn that they'll be competing against each other, following a hidden rope to their supplies, and using a pot to fill a bottle and retrieve their flint. They get started. These two seem pretty evenly matched physically, but Kevin is taking it slow and gets to a lead. Kyle is working hastily and gets tied up in himself and confused. They have to figure out how to get their pot off a perch by any means possible. Kevin is trying to slowly finagle it with another pole, but Kyle decides just to break the damn thing, getting Kyle to a lead. They get to filling up their jug with water. Kevin, again taking it slow, rushing through it. Kyle again accidentally breaks the damn thing, shattering his jug and disqualifying himself. Kyle helps Kevin to fill up his jug, and they have a cute little bonding moment. Kevin brings the supplies back to the tribe, becoming the hero of green. The other hero is Mary, who quickly makes fire and flips her hair in confessional. Our heroes form an alliance, the Avengers if you will, when Mary and Kevin quickly bond. Say also approaches Kevin and brings him into the 4-person alliance with her and the other guys. Everyone has an alliance except Steph. At least she has her hat. At Siva, David and Mitch discover animals painted around their camp, but they're interrupted by Kyle coming back, telling them he's a loser and lying to the group, saying he's a teacher and not a lawyer. Everyone believes him. David tells the whole group about the clues around camp. They all find symbols, hidden letters, ropes, and spend their day doing this Easter egg hunt as the other 2 tribes work. On Lagi, Eva is working her ass off, getting tons of bamboo and impressing the group. She shares with us that she has autism, saying she struggles with social cues, can't tell when people are lying to her, and that her autism is helping her focus on collecting the bamboo. Joe makes fire for the group. He wants to be a good person to make his family proud. Eva quickly approaches Joe, asking him for an alliance. He's down. Back at Vula, Steph and her hat are trying to make the social game happen. She's talking about Reiki, and Say is extremely visibly annoyed with Steph. Say heads to her alliance and leads them in a public idol hunt. Mary and Steph bond over feeling like Say isn't trustworthy. Say and Justin find the Beware Advantage, a lock that contains an idol with numbers that are clearly associated to the hidden clues around camp. At Lagi, Star ostracizes herself by going on an idol hunt when the other players notice she's gone. Thomas, Shaheen, and Joe form an alliance and name themselves the California Girls, all being from the same state. Thomas would prefer Bianca to be the final member of their alliance, but the other 2 California California girls prefer Eva. Eva shares that she has autism with Joe. It's a sweet moment. He was the perfect person to confide in. He dedicates himself to helping her and taking care of her in the game. Joe has basically adopted Eva as his daughter and promises us he's not going to let her down. At Siva, David is hamming it up, talking about rom-coms, and Kyle and Camilla bond over having a lot of similarities. Charity hints to Camilla that she wants to target Kyle, and Camilla runs this right back to Kyle. They form a little alliance and rope in Chrissy and David. Through their anti-charity crusade, this four quickly solidifies into a little alliance. Back at Vula, Sei shares her clue with her alliance. They're trying to guess the code, but Sei catches on that it has to do with the symbols around camp. Cedric figures out that the word is listen, and Sei cracks that bad boy open, getting the idol. Sei feels like this was a win for her and all of the women who raised her. They head to their immunity challenge where they'll have to climb over and under obstacles and smash a mask to unlock a heavy sled, traverse it through a track, and build a survivor puzzle. The first two tribes to finish will win immunity. These immunity idols are very elegant and peaceful, and the winning tribes will also win building supplies. The losing tribe, of course, will go to tribal and vote someone out. They get started with Purple once again getting to a quick lead and unlocking their sled first, with the other two tribes trailing close behind. David's muscles come in handy, helping Siva pull ahead and get to their puzzle first. Thomas and Bianca complete the puzzle first, winning immunity and big reward, and Camilla and Charity pull it together, winning second immunity and baby reward. Kevin and Steph couldn't do the puzzle, so Vula will be going to tribal, and sorry for them, they'll lose their flint. Back at camp, Stephanie apologizes to the group for bungling the puzzle. The tribe acts like it's no big deal, but then quickly Cedric, Sei, and Kevin are at the beach talking smack about Steph. Mary wants Sei out. She doesn't trust Sei, and Mary, Justin, and Steph agree to target Sei. But Justin is torn between these two groups, and somehow relates this to doing inventory at his restaurant. Justin is dishonest with Sei and Cedric about this conversation. Mary and Steph approach Kevin and ask him to join up with them to flip on Sei. Justin and Kevin bond over being the swing vote in the situation, and agree that they see value in voting for Sei to flesh out the idol. They head to tribal council that's decorated like the Ewok village, and the players call themselves the city folk, feeling like they're the least cut out for surviving in the wild. Steph explains astrology to big facial reactions from Sei that Jeff even calls out. Justin, of course, compares the game to taking an order at the pizzeria, and back to Sei, saying that Steph has her head in the clouds and is not in tune with reality. These two are basically having a little tiff at tribal, which leads right into the voting. Jeff asks for advantages, and Steph plays her shot in the dark, but it doesn't hit, so she just loses her vote. And Jeff reads the votes. There's one vote in there for Sei, and 4 for Steph, shocking Mary, who clearly voted for Sei. So we lose Steph here. This was really surprising to me, given that other players had great first impressions of her and said preseason they wanted to work with her, though preseason Sei already had it out for her. She comes into this episode wanting to play it cool and not be too much in the game, which resulted in her sidelining herself in the strategy. Sei did seem to want to make a girls' alliance, but Mary and Steph shut her down, leading to Sei queening out, teaming up with the guys and finding the idol, leaving the other girls on the outs. Had she not messed up the puzzle, there could have been some room to flip this vote, but I think between a bad start, the challenge, and the other players' fear of the chaotic aftermath if Sei did play her idol, the swing players decided it wasn't worth it. Steph is probably one of the better first boots. She didn't make many blaring mistakes. She owned up to her shortcomings in the challenge. In my opinion, she came out looking in the right in the argument with Sei at tribal, and she rightly assessed that she needed to play her shot in the dark. This episode was a typical new era premiere, the same opening challenge, which seems to have the sole purpose of making the survivors dirty. I found the journey game to be a bit cheap. The fact that Kyle could just break the challenge once on purpose and again by accident, leading to one player being completely disqualified, was a bit dumb and not thought out. The positives of this episode were carried by the cast, not production, who were interesting and dynamic, with every single player seeming to have something going on. The best play on each tribe was probably from David, who seems to be the glue in a 4-person alliance, who they need in challenges, Thomas playing the chameleon, impressing himself and getting into the guys alliance, and Kevin being the swing person on the tribe with ties to everyone, and forming a seemingly really important bond with Kyle on the journey. Preseason, I said I felt the season was cast purposefully for another male winner in the new era, and it's really showing so far, with most of the men teaming up with each other. And we come into the next episode with potential boots for Charity, Camilla, Eva, Star, Bianca, Sei, and Mary, all seeming at risk, and almost no men being pointed out as potential targets or threats to the group. This feels very dark-sided. This premiere could have been an hour and a half. 2 hours seemed a bit hefty, especially because so much of this was the really complicated clues for the Beware advantage. I'm not interested in seeing them figure this code out once. I'm really not looking forward to seeing them do it 2 more times. Which leads to the big game we're playing this season. Jeff will be asking us to give our opinion on new era traditions and whether we want to keep them for season 50. So let's talk about the first 4 choices we got. We can vote on the tribe colors. I don't understand this. There seem to be 3 colors, but they also have 2 colors underneath them. I voted C. I like that color yellow. We vote to give them rice or make them earn rice. Why can't they have rice? When did the war on rice begin? Give them the rice. Final 4 fire making. This can choke, honestly. honestly. Get rid of this garbage. And finally, should we bring the live reunion back or stick with the after show? This can't be a real question. We're getting the live reunion back, baby! And that's all I have to say about this episode. Let me know in the comments. What did you think of the premiere, Steph's departure, and what are your votes for the Survivor 50 poll? I'll be back next week with more Survivor 50. I'm also recapping Deal or No Deal Island, The Traitors, and the Challenge All-Stars 5. If you liked the video, consider liking and subscribing. Until next time, you know where to find me. Bye!